the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, folks. Social issues are for SHTF. Now, what are we talking about lately? Let's see, we're talking about war, we're talking about famine, we're talking about pestilence. All of these things are about control. There's different ways to control us. We can control where you go by affecting fuel, energy. We can control the population through techniques limiting their food, limiting their health, limiting the information their minds are allowed to process by controlling the number of sources of information and the very information itself. Everything we're looking at, folks, is control. Now, the war in Ukraine is about acquiring assets, resources, land. That is real. To get you to believe it's justifiable is to socially control us. The best way to control people, folks, is with fear. Fear, absolutely fear of starvation, fear of pain, fear of death. War, it strikes fear in the hearts of people. Famine, starvation strikes fear in the hearts of people, especially when you start to get hungry. And there's another type of fear out there. It is social fear. The fear of what other people will think about you. The fear of what other people are going to do to you. Now you'll notice that the people who want this fear, the puppet masters, the Illuminati, the hidden hand, they don't want to show themselves. They can't just come out and say, we want you to be fearful and do what we say. Now, they're puppets that they have, right? They're Bidens, they're Clintons, they're Obamas. They will come out and actually say things and say what they want. Talk about how they want you to be afraid. And that's happened recently. I'm not talking about Hillary Clinton calling you a deplorable. I'm not talking about Obama saying, you cling to your guns and Bibles, you stupid Americans. I'm certainly not talking about egg-headed professors who brainwash children. That's right, fully grown children in colleges. I'm talking about the President of the United States, G. Biden. And yes, I know I misspell words in the titles of all of my videos. I have to do that to keep the censorship from stopping me, but hopefully you read through the misspellings and understand what's being said, right? Because they can't have us communicating. They have to control that. But back to social control. Biden has called people who want America to be a great place, to make it great yet again, the Make America Great Again crowd. He wants to say they're the most dangerous extremists this country has ever had. Interesting. Last time I checked, there were no Make America Great Again people burning down cities, courthouses, police stations, police cars, public property, private property, nor have Make America Great Again folks looted stores, destroyed businesses, and burned anything to the ground. Yet here we have a regime in big trouble. The puppet masters have their puppet. He sings, he dances, he talks, he tells a story, but nobody believes him because it's easy to see he is just a puppet. While people who love the story he talks about, the Democrats, will lap it up and they will suspend their disbelief that this dotard of an old fool, right, knows what he's talking about. People who say, make America great again. People who say, let's go, Brandon, and mean it. We are the extremists and they want to hurt us. So if they can't use the power of entertainment, which is failing. They can't use the power of news media, which is failing. They can't use the power of the cult of personality, political figures and entertainers to convince you to follow them. They're left with social fear on our level, folks, on our streets. This is what happened in 2020. They couldn't control us any other way, so they let things get out of control. They encouraged things to get out of control. They ensured things would get out of control. They don't have an agenda. They don't have a platform. They don't have anything that's believable. Nothing Biden is doing is good for the country. So they're left with their last thing. Fear. Fear of what other people think and what other people in our neighborhoods are going to do, could do, will do, might do. So they're turning loose the most radical, the most extreme among us. Not to make America great extremists, folks, but the ones who actually do commit felonies, who commit arson, a felony, looting, a felony, murder, a felony, BLM. But this time it's not about a black life or a white life or any life for that matter. Oh, wait. Well, if you are one of us, if you believe life is precious, then yeah, it's about a life. It's about a baby's life. So they've turned loose another youthful, radical group that can be encouraged by people like Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Letitia James, an attorney general, a U.S. senator, and the Speaker of the House. They've turned them loose, the puppets, to rile up and antagonize the youths of America who are full of hate and ignorance so they can come get us. So they are, folks. Last night in Phoenix, students who are supporting and volunteering for gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, they were surrounded, they were threatened, they were spit on, they were assaulted physically, and police stood by. Oh, 2 people were arrested. Have no worries. Yeah, you should have a lot of worry, folks. 2 people were arrested, but the police didn't stop the threats of violence. And it's just started, folks. The decision by the Supreme Court to say, we made a big mistake as the Supreme Court. Folks, truth, fact are not mistakes. It is only man's opinion of such things that can become a mistake. And so the legal opinions of the Supreme Court under Roe v. Wade, that was a mistake. And the lovers of a lie, a mistake is a lie. A lie is a mistake. The lovers of the lie that abortion is a right for women became a reality. And now that lie is not being dissolved, but the federal government, through its legal branch, the Supreme Court, are going to say Roe v. Wade is a state issue, not a federal issue. And then, folks, the puppet masters, not Clinton, not Obama, not Joe Biden, they're masters, the people that pull their strings, the billionaires and the trillionaires of the world. And it's hard to prove someone has $1 trillion, but it's probably pretty easy to prove that they control trillions of dollars. Those people want chaos in the streets. They want HTF. And if they can't get it, that is, get their way, then they will create this social chaos through social issues. Because you and I, we'll get mad over fuel prices. We'll get scared over food prices. We'll be fearful of war. We're upset about cerveza bug, right? War, famine, pestilence, ride with death, the 4 horsemen. But they'll use social issues, folks, because it touches each and every one of us at the street level. I've always said, when it hits the fan, it's going to be on your street. You are in the middle of this 10-mile circle. And so you need to know who is in that 10-mile circle. That's your world. That's one day of traveling by foot that someone can come and make your life much, much more different, much more difficult. This is what they're pushing for now. Protests organized across the nation. Last night, we learned right-wing justices on the Supreme Court intend to overturn Roe v. Wade. The decision would allow states to ban abortion across the country, leading to even further assaults on reproductive health. I love how killing a baby is called reproductive health. Today, we show up to say abortion care is health care and hands off our bodies. Where were these people during the mandates, the masks, the lockdowns, the denials, the disruptions, the regulated stoppage of all life? Folks, these people are organizing. They're organizing, and it's going to become nasty. Expect it, right? It has just begun. They start off by threatening to burn down the Supreme Court. They start off by screaming obscenities and wishing death upon pro-life students in Arizona. It's going to get a lot worse. Here's a quote. "I can't believe how citizens are dumb as F like you. You hurt my brain." Oh, of course, the all cops are B's, conservative F's, and go home fascist biatch. These are some of the nice things that are said. And if you think that these things being said are hollow threats, remember the threat to burn it down resulted in burning police stations, burning cars, burning streets, burning homes, burning businesses. Burn, loot, murder. How interesting, right? BLM. Oh, folks, it's not about Black lives, because I believe as a percentage of the population that Black babies are aborted at a disproportionate rate. Isn't that interesting? Why isn't that considered racist and bad? Well, we're going to find out, folks. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you see where this is going? What can you do about it? You can get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, your plan. You're going to need all these things. Go to thepreparedmind.club. Sign up for the Prepared Mind on Patreon. It's only 7 cents a day. If you were on there and you got kicked off because the credit card or the debit card or something happened with Patreon, get right back on there. It happens every month. Hundreds of people leave and then hundreds of people come back. Maybe I should remind people, come back. We want you there. We need your voice, because your voice is a voice of freedom and reason, logic, and common sense. And we need your voice to help silence the voice of absolute ignorance, or rather not silence it, but to compete with it within the arena of ideas. Because chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. How long will one of these screaming banshee morons last if food, electricity, and gasoline is cut off? They won't last very long, will they? How long will you last in an emergency situation? That's what being a prepper is all about, and having the prepared mind helps you understand who, what, where, when, why, and how. I'll talk to you guys next in the monologue and Q&A this afternoon. I'll see you there. Semper Fi.